Here's some of our alternative options for scoring defensively. Now we're not just looking to get away from his grip or just, clear out defensively, but now we're looking, hey, how can we create some action? How can we make him uncomfortable? How can we wrestle back into this position? So I want to almost call this defensive potential in a sense, or position potential, okay? So as opposed to defense where I'm trying to get away from him, I'm thinking position potential, right? So he's in on my legs here. Again, what I want to do is I want to wrestle back in this position. So initially what I'm going to do is I'm going to hip into him. I'm going to wrestle with this position. I'm going to fight hands. I'm going to push the head down, okay? But what I want to do is I want to get to this angle. I want to get to this angle here, okay? So I'm pushing head down. I want to get to this angle here. Now, notice how as I rotate to that angle, my knee, my leg, the inside of my hamstring is coming across his head, and that's what's keeping that pressure. So as if I was doing this, but now it's my leg that's doing the work. I'm keeping pressure down on him through his leg. Now, this is the first offensive position that we can have from him being on our legs. And as I come across here, I want to now take the pressure off. What happens when you take the pressure off? His head comes up. Now I'm looking to go cradle here. I'm going to lock that cradle up. I'm going to lock this thing up by his jaw here. Watch how I'll get this here. I'll take my lock and put it right by his jaw here. And I'll keep my knee here to block so it doesn't come all the way out, so he's not able to get his head up. Go ahead and work your head up. I don't want this, right? So I'm actually blocking his head with my knee here. Block his head with my knee. Now he can't go anywhere. Now he's stuck. And now I take my lock and put it by his chin and make that hurt a little bit here. From here, I'm going to start just lifting up. He'll either keep holding on or he'll let go of that leg. And that's the position of the end. Okay, so again, we'll go back into that. Again, initially I'm gonna be wrestling to this position, but what I want to do is I want to find myself at that angle. Okay? So here, I want to step forward, I might step into him. I really want to bump into him and step. That's a bump into him, step. Bump into him, step. Now, watch what I do. I'm going to just slide off. Now, you have to slide off at this angle, guys. You have to slide off to the angle here. You got to slide off to the angle because if I don't slide off to the angle here, then I'm sliding down. He can start circling, and finishing here. And that's when we have some bit of an issue there, okay? So I'm going to slide off, and I'm coming off that angle here. I'm coming off this angle here. Coming off this angle. All right? Again, from this position, it's okay to be patient here. I'm not lifting so much, although I know some people who do lift here. That I don't want to lift here and then do that. I'd have to actually play around with that a little bit more if I wanted to teach it. But for right now, what we're just going to do is we're going to hook this ankle here. I just kind of like wrap it. I'm going to wrap it. Let's go and rotate a little bit more. I'm going to wrap this thing here. And as I wrap, I'm just going to kind of slowly take my hands. And there's a timing to it. I get here, hand comes in. And I'm sitting and I'm kind of waiting. I'm kind of just waiting here for him. And as I'm waiting, exactly, this is the transition that I want. And as he starts to come up, I want to almost like collect this head. I want to start collecting this head here. So I'm in here. I'm in good position here. I'm holding this. And as his head starts to come up, now I want to start bringing it in. And I want to grab, you see my hands here. I want to just kind of connect by this jaw area here. And then I want to take him up. Notice how he's really just trapped in here on this position. What I'll do is I'll drive in. I want to get my hip down. I want to get my hip out. I don't want him holding on to that leg. unless I have my hip, especially if I don't have my hip down. So I don't want to be like here and then like him kind of be able to wrestle into the position, wrestle underneath, get his head underneath here. I don't want that, okay? So in order to avoid that, again, I'm lifting up, and watch what I do. Chest up, driving in here, driving in here. So there's a lot of little nuances to this, guys. There's a lot of little pieces that really do make this work. If it's the case that you're starting from a single leg, or you might just be starting from a kind of his head's underneath here. Again, going to that back leg here. I want to get my knee, my hamstring, the inside of my hamstring across his back here. I want to get to this position here. I want to get to here. Okay. Once I get to here, I'm coming to to his ankle. I'm gonna wrap that thing up. Might even bring this up a little bit more. Right? Now we have something else that we can work with. Head pops up, okay? But again, taking that hand, coming underneath, and I'm in by his shoulder here. I want to be in by his shoulder here, guys. I'm taking my hand across that shoulder, staying tight here. Again, I'm reaching in, looking for this position. I'm looking to get my lock as close to his jaw as possible. I'm pulling to myself. I pull it into myself first. Then I drive down to get the pin. Now, if it's the case, it might be the case that he gets on single. We're wrestling from this position, and I've extended my hand out here, and it could be the case that he pops his head up. If he pops his head up, don't worry about that. Start wrestling back into him, okay? So I go from here. I want to get my ankle down to the mat here, and I'm going to cross face, okay? So I'm going to go from leg extended to ankle down, cross face, and you might lock up a cradle, but at least you're gonna get him off that leg. You're gonna get him out of that back position. So okay, we're here. We just assume it off. He comes up, bang. Now, whether you start with ankle down or whether you drive to ankle down, that's kind of going to be up to you here. That's going to kind of be up to you here. All right. So our next little transition I believe that we can have is he's in on that single leg, weave, and this is just coming over the top. We'll call this our defense coming, our optional defense coming over top, which is really, from defense to offense. I'm coming over top. I might be pulling this leg. Again, we've just gone over a couple two options. We can lock up a cradle from here. We can, he pops his head out. We can go cross face, wrestling into him from this position. And the next thing that we can do, is we've gotten here. The next thing we can do is we can circle back the other way to get our foot back to the mat. So right now I'm here. Now what I want to do is I'll drive that knee into him here. Drive that knee into him. Now work to get those hands, get those wrists. Pop that thing back. Circle. And get behind. Pressuring in here. I'm looking to go here. Watch what I do. Yep. From this position, I'm holding. Watch what I do with my knee. My knee rotates into him. Knee rotates in. Knee rotates in. And I'm pressuring in down on this position here. It might be the case that my heel's down, but I think I want to have my heel up here, guys. I want to have my heel up here. This is the idea, and it's really knee in the back, knee in the shoulder area, fighting hands here, pressuring down, and circling, get behind in that position.